there. I'm wondering like how he fit in and could really like swing for the home run.
If someone's watching who's a young person like us and aligns with this struggle that we're in, the way I look at it is there's a system that is based on theft because the metric of value or fiat is theft-based currency. Um, and because of that, because the blood of society is based on theft, all of society is theft-based, and that's the energy that society has. It's very theft-based and inherently rotten to the core. And parasites are thriving on what used to be a great society. But they were attracted to that great society and they turned it into a theft-based society. And fast forward 80 years, here we are. um, there's no recovering the old systems, in my opinion. No amount of political action partaking in the abstract illusion of power will affect the system in a positive direction. One, it's monopolized by parasitic sociopaths that have a higher proof of stake percentage in that abstraction than what we can actually get into because they've created an in group and they act as the gatekeepers into
Just
politics,
wondering
into
if those same people also um have like a proof of power because I can only because proof of stake. This is just this is gonna get really heady here, but I feel like once you accumulate enough of that heady power, you can kind of drip that down into proof of power. So you kind of have to imagine, like after all these years of like accumulating this like fantasy power, they're able to like drip it into proof of power. So there is like a dynamo of like both here, and I'm just wondering.
yeah, and I'd say you're completely correct. That's why this isn't both on a realism standpoint and an ethical standpoint. This isn't a matter of violence. No amount of violence is going to solve the problems that we have. You can't you can't cure an inherently sick society by just
Beating it,
beating it, defining what you're against, but not having any idea of what you actually want and what you're working towards. We see so much of that even with good people these days.
like kind of what I'm thinking is like, just young gun stumbles upon this and it's just like, huh, this is really good technology. There's a lot of power in here. There's a lot of play going on. I have like $1,000 um that I can use to like contribute. How else could we like
I'm getting there. I'm
yeah,
getting there.
yeah.
Um, so that's what we're up against is a monopoly of abstract power, which, as you pointed out, does have a trickle down effect that because they control the abstract power, they control the physical, violent power in our world right now. This is true. But it's a system of parasites. They have no long-term sustenance without a host to feed on. Um, a book I'd be meaning to read, and I already recommend it just knowing the theme is Atlas Shrugged, where in this story, essentially all the producers of society went on strike. They walked out and they began building up their own society
Hmm.
based on honesty, hard work. It wasn't theft based, etc. To do this realistically, it's a step-by-step process. There's everything down to where's your water? Do you know your water source? What are you going to eat? Where's your shelter? How do you heat your home? Like your basic needs. Do you have financial sovereignty? Are you participating on a fiat slave economic system? Or are you in a permissionless open network that isn't robbing you of up to half of what you earn every year? There's all these little things that accumulate. And if we do that as individuals at a macro level, little by little, the producers of society, the ones that would be motivated by a calling like this to exodus into a fair world, the world that they want to imagine and they want to live in, we create that exodus together as a collective, acting as individuals. That leaves behind the old host, which, okay, has a sick and dying population. The lights are going out because there's no more producers to maintain the energy infrastructure, has a collapsing food supply, has a non-functioning governmental system, which everybody is pissed off with, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, one is going to thrive and the other one is literally going to kill itself. We
Pick
never had to fight.
choice. Yeah,
We
no.
never have to fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Maybe at some point, if the parasite deems this movement a threat, this peaceful walkout, then maybe it will attack us. Maybe it will try to steal from us. Maybe it will further expose itself to its own atrocities by doing so.
yeah.
But it can never get us all because we're so vast. We're like Bitcoin nodes. Okay, you're going to go and, because you hate Bitcoin, go and blow up Buddy's Bitcoin Raspberry Pi. Did you hurt Bitcoin or did you just make yourself look like a psycho?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's so much to learn, I think, from Bitcoin. And studying Bitcoin, it offers so many internet-based solutions, so many financial solutions, but it's also an incredible teacher when you get into it and you just extrapolate the principles and you reimagine the object that we're identifying on the code as something else. You'll see that could apply elsewhere. That could apply to our food system. What if we didn't depend on a centralized food system and that we actually produced our own food locally? Well, we wouldn't be getting poison in our food. We wouldn't be dependent on a complex system that could shut out any day and starve us all. We wouldn't be robbed by taxation when we buy that food, when we earn money to buy that food, and that food wouldn't cost a fortune because organic, homegrown vegetables is the cheapest damn thing in the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's how I see young people most effectively co-creating the future that we want to live in
Okay.
is by being the change that we want to see in the world.
Exactly. That's how I was gonna pretty much say to like extrapolate it. My like how I viewed the picture you painted is just just go back to the basics. Like you wanna make a stance, where we want to make a stance, going back to the basics, taking, and I think we've said this before, we have reiterated this before, but I'm going to reiterate it again just to like really cement it, okay? Take the steps you feel necessary to cut the crap, like kind of like cut the crap. It's just like, okay, you see this thing is corrupt, don't take part in it. There's other options. You don't like this goes to like almost self-improvement philosophy here. It's like you see the corruption of the food, cut it out, eat healthy. You see the corruption of the fiat system, cut it out. Fucking take the healthy route. It's like Bitcoin self-improvement, guys. That, take the healthy route. Pleasure. Pleasure.
Austin, it was so much fun talking with you today.
You as well. You as well, Rain. It's always good to do these episodes. Sometimes, they can get for example, we didn't have a fucking schedule, but we decided we were gonna go ahead with it anyways. And each and every time it's something new. You never know where it's gonna end up, but it's always gonna be a trip, okay? And that's what I like about it. It's always fun. You always get to explore these nooks and crannies of Bitcoin and all that. And I hope you guys enjoyed Rain and I's journey through the philosophy and the battlefield that is. And we hope you enjoyed and can't wait to see you guys again.
Peace.
Peace.